Pop. Okay. So let me see. I don't know if everything is put here. I don't think it is quite. I'm not sure. Not sure. So let's go look at the chess, I suppose. And let me close the stuff. So game chess. Okay, so we have the chess game here. I have that here. Okay. Oh, it's floating now. Is this even? No, that's not it. It's here, right? Yes. Oh, so this is what we got. Okay, so let's see what we can do. What can we do? We have all this stuff, right? So I guess I just look through and see if I can discover something that's not good. Okay, so display valid move. I suppose this one is doing the valid move thing, and here we already have something which is not good code, I suppose. So this can be reworked. I'm just not quite sure yet how I choose to rework this, but I think I can get rid of this code, and I should also be able to get rid of this, because I think there's something there's some rebinding going on here of the variables, which should probably not happen. What else? We have this reset start move. Yes, I think this is only in relation to the pawns. So running over all the pieces might not be the best solution here. Okay, what else do we have? So set board piece reset. So if some array is not null or not undefined, then we do something. And I'm not sure if I can get around this. I might be able to get around this and then just leave this or something. I'm not sure exactly what I do here. I set the board piece to the current piece because the current piece. Oh yes, so this what this does is resetting resetting the piece if it cannot move. So if I do this, I guess this is what's running. The question is then, can I get around this? Because I'm not sure if there is any cases where this actually have the value of anything else. Because this seems like this is a protection against a bug that could happen. So I'm not sure if that can happen even. So let's see here. So player turn Yes, this is very simple, and this is something that have to be reworked, right? Because right now it's only single player, but I won't look at that right now. Set board piece. So here we have something, if current piece have not moved, then we set it to false. I guess, and this is a default, so I guess this is something I have to do. I could maybe move it to a function or something, but then again, that's not really. This current piece dot array position, we set an array of the mouse and the mouse, both the mouse x and y position here. So the board piece. So mouse A, actually here is probably something I should do something. Mouse A, maybe that should this be an array? Should it be an array? Is that Is there anywhere where I bind these values? I have them here. Current piece, dying, this dot board. Oh, so what happens here? So this is a dying piece. So why is this happening? I guess it's because I'm reusing it, right? To figure out if the game is over, if it's a king. What about here? We have this array position, something with this variable. So here's the question. The board, now maybe this is what I'm doing wrong, maybe, because it seems like this is a conflict, right? Because this value is, this is a two-dimensional array, and what I need to do is just write to this two-dimensional array based on two values. So based on these two values, I have to write to the array. But I actually use them multiple places. This is where it's a bit funny, maybe. Because the p's already have this value, right? It's already staying on this value. So maybe I can do something. Board A. There's a p, the piece is not unidentified. And so it's a board piece. Okay, this is a check, I suppose. Where do we check this? It's actually interesting. If board piece, then we grab. Is there elsewhere? No, we only use this one place, which is in the mouse move event listener, which I guess is actually interesting. I'm not sure if it would be better not to have these event listeners and then do it in the loop instead, because I think I could do it in the loop, right? Or at least only some of it. I guess only this mouse move could go to the loop. I probably still need to send this event on mouse down. So bow. Let's see. Here we have something that can probably be refactored. Start x, end x. I could rewrite this right already here, but I'm not sure if that's what I want to do. And also these if-else statements. So this is the collision detection. Collision detection takes the chess against the current piece and the mouse position. Okay, so it gets the current piece in the mouse position. And we then calculate the distance from the current position, or from the piece we're moving start position to where we want to place the piece, meaning that we have to, what do we have to do actually? I'm not sure. So distance x equals 0, and then we don't push to this array. And where do we use this array? We use this array down here, and we only push. How many values do we push? So if this is 1, 0, or else, then we push a value, and we set some value here. What did I do here? So iterations hold how many times the loop should run. Yes. Interesting. Okay. So here I could probably make a function. Maybe I should make a function for this. So temp undefined, or so we also have this icon. So okay, I guess I could have something which was called you already yes, we have this multiple places. Here repeats icon. We don't have an if statement here though, because this will always contain an icon, but we certainly have this function here. What else could I do? I'm not sure. And then we have king color state is not equal. So this is if the king is in check. So and we also have this. I'm not sure about this. I don't even know why I did it. Maybe it's not the best way. Static castling check pieces between, and this uses somewhat of the same, which I'm not even sure I need this logic. It's just that do I want to go and then start rewriting this? Because what am I even checking for here? I'm checking if some values are equal to other values, and then we either go plus or a minus based on a variable. So it's either a decrement in the movement, or oh yes, it's because of this king is in check, I think. Because when you do the castling function, or the castling move, you may not move, what is it called? You may not have moved, or you may not move the king past a square which is in check, right? So meaning that if I do this and go here, for example, this function should not, or never mind. Actually, this is not in check. So I guess we can try to maybe move this here or something, and then we do something like this. So here, yes, okay, so now the movement is not possible because this piece is blocking the castling, because the king is passing to a square which is in check. And I think this was just my way of getting around it, so it would work for both sides without anything more. I think I can probably still clean some of it up. Right, so we have something here that goes on. We have some if else here, which I'm not sure about this right here. This is fine. This is so we don't do the computations if the value is not which is it should be for the move to be possible, right? Because the king either have to move here or have to move here in the castling move. But I'm not sure about this x6, meaning that it's this move, right? So we move here, or this one. So it's the x-axis square. And then what we do is that we set x to a value, and we use this in a function here where we find a piece. Okay, so this is what is finding the rook, I think. And what do we have here? Incrementer. Yeah, this is maybe where I should have some kind of special object or something. I'm not sure. Even these checks I'm not sure about. But I'm not sure if I should rewrite it, or if I should only rewrite this, right? I could get rid of this. I don't even need to get the king up here, actually. Oh yeah, I think I can actually, I should just be able to do this current piece, because this will be a king, else it cannot go here, right? I think. Do castling only happens on king, yes, so no matter what it will be a king, meaning I don't need to check that. And I guess this king is in check. It takes, okay, so here it takes a current piece, which is also fine. And here it takes current piece, so I can actually remove this, I suppose. The question is just where I exactly call this. I call it here, which is okay, I guess. So I guess this is fine then. Can cut it. Because this takes king is in check. Oh yeah, that's right, because it's a function. But it's a function on the board. It's a function on the board, meaning that I could remove this and then say this.current piece instead. We also set the current piece here, which is interesting, because the current piece should be a king, else something is wrong. Right? Yes, most certainly. So I don't think I need this for anything. This one I need though, this.current piece. Then we can do like that instead. Let's try to remove the king parameter and remove these. And what we can try to do, I guess, is log out whatever data is in the current piece. Let's remove the parameters. Alright. I also want to change up the board a bit. Maybe I should make like a random function almost that shuffles some of the pieces, because it's a bit difficult for me to test certain things here without doing moves right. Okay, so that most certainly, look at this. Okay, so maybe I could go at this, because apparently that did not work. So let me jump back. I'm not sure if this should be just an array right now, or these. I guess I cannot change anything on the mouse here, I think, unless I try, or unless I change the structure. And the set board piece, so maybe I can do something here. Or seed board, piece map, find piece. So what does this find piece do? Okay, so find piece finds the object that needs to be created. So this one I cannot do anything with. And then we have a color state, which checks for what kind of color. Okay, so this assigns the piece to the player based on the piece's color. So this is where something could happen, because currently I have two players, and both these players they have pieces on them, and the board also have pieces on it. So the players right now, as far as I know, I'm not sure if I can get this chess object. I cannot, because of it being a module. I'm not sure how you get a thing from a module in the console here. That's something I need to know actually, or should figure out. But I have, each player have pieces in an array, but it doesn't really do anything right now. That's the thing. And what do we have here? We have something, set a click mouse up. Oh, so its click is equal false. I'm not sure. Maybe there's a way I can get around having this check or this attribute. Current piece is not, or is undefined, and we return, because then there is an error. So maybe what I should do here is actually I should log out chess and then write something like error. Okay. So if that happens, I can see something. So what else do we have? We have set canvas style cursor. That's also something we need. We need the set mouse position. Player turn equals Okay, so I guess this is where we check. So this, when the game is finished, I guess this cannot be here, or maybe it can be here. I'm not sure how to implement the multiplayer part. I guess that would be somewhat difficult. But then again, not if all the logic is here. It should be. And there's something, what is the start piece? Or start move state. And, okay, so then we do clear board on in peasant. I don't know. That piece. Oh, okay. I think this has something to do with a certain move. But what I'm scared of is this being right. Or being wrong, actually. Else if rule name knight, then we only apply the rule because we don't need collision. So this is also fine. I guess another way I could get around it would be if I did this elsewhere. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. Because these checks, I can maybe get around them. It's not that they are bad overall. It could just be maybe a bit cleaner if they wasn't there. Also this reset start move. Okay, so this only happens. This might also cause some problems actually. Because I think this reset have to run every time there is a move being made. No matter the piece. Else it's not cleared. Yes. So this probably have to run. Down here as well. We have something focus, which does nothing right now, I'm pretty sure. Chess is clicked. Display valid moves. And draw mouse piece. Okay, so I guess this is fine. And create the board creates the graphics, right? I think. Yeah, so create board creates the squares and creates the board pieces as well. Or only the squares or what? Oh yes, it's because I have this. What is this? F, chess, find piece. If F is not false, what does this? Okay, so this returns false when the icon contains no piece, and it contains a piece when this is not so. So one thing that would be interesting is also, can this even be hit? I'm not sure. Okay, so line number, is this a parameter or is this something that it can automatically write? Maybe it writes it. So current piece equal undefined. This checks for the current piece, right? Let me see. Board checks for a mouse, so it's the mouse based on the mouse position, not on the current piece. And then we set the current piece to this. Which, why does this happen? Mouse down. So we find board piece on the mouse down. Yes, that's good. I guess right. Find the piece based on mouse down. So if this is false, or if this is not false, so maybe this is where I do something wrong. Because maybe it's just easier to say if this is false, or if this is false, then we return. I'm not sure, and then the current piece, so let me see, the current piece is not set here, so the current piece is not set to anything, meaning that current piece, this will never happen now. I think the current piece will never be undefined because the function have already returned if the current piece, right? Because yes. Because we will never get here if it's false. I think. I might be wrong here. But let's try to remove this. And then what about this? So chess player turn is not... Maybe this has to go here. No, this is checking the current piece color. So player turn, chess to player turn. Okay, so this is actually maybe where we have to do something, because this is, yeah, but then again later when it's multiplayer this won't even matter at all. This won't matter at all, because I would not need the function, I would have to write later on. So mouse up, you check if the piece is unidentified, that's fine. You set it is click to false, which is also good based on the other, or based on the event loop. Do some basic mouse cursor stuff, chess player turn, that's fine. I think this is to check if it's actually the player's turn, so this can be removed later, I suppose, if there is a server controlling the players, right, or controlling the players' movement, so they would not be able, or this would not be able to, or have to be run, or even be here, because the current piece or there is something else checking this, right? So I guess it does matter. This one though, I'm not sure about this, or if I can optimize it, because I need to check on this collision, right? I need to check collision somewhere, and there's this specific case that you don't need to check collision on the knight, right? Because the knight can jump over, and maybe the music is too high or something, but the knight can jump over the pieces. So that does not need to have this collision check that all the other pieces do, which is interesting. But here I have an else if, and that's also actually interesting, because I don't think I need an else if here. I think I only need an else, right? Because the only case where it's not a knight, or the only case, yeah, the only case where this is not an, or the only case this would happen if it's an else is if it's a knight, right? Meaning that I can actually get rid of that. Then we have this chess current piece rule. I cannot get rid of this because this is the knight movement, so I guess we can check if I can still move. Okay. Okay, what more? What more? I guess that's it maybe. So let's look. Board helper, get mouse position. Canvas event. So this returns an object with X and Y position. So I guess this is fine. And what about this? Store it. I mean, I can make the code more concise here, but I'm not sure if I even want to it or want to do it. I mean, you know, I could move these down here and then only have this, so this would be removed. I guess maybe I should just do that. Oh, wait a minute. So see, we have an array and we push values from -1 to 1 based on the distance. So the distance determines what value we should push. Yes, it's fine. So iterations. But let me think about this. -1. So we push -1 to an array here, and we will end up with two values. It seems the two values we add to y and x, which is fine. Yes, because it's collision detection, so we don't need to collide on everything, but we only need to collide the direction we're moving, right? So the movement we're trying to do is the only thing we do. So let me find, I need to find the function that paints here is valid move, because this one Okay, so this one still runs the collision, right? Yes, because the collision is inside the piece. So then it's fine actually. I think it's fine then, because the collision is a function inside the piece. So I will run this when picking up a piece. Oh, and it seems like this crash. Oh, because we use these. Start X, so let me see. This can also go then, so X, where do I use this? Y, I set a value to 2 variables and then I change this value. And this is where I can probably do something better, right? Or maybe so. The start X. Okay, so inside the loop, yes, inside the loop, we add or subtract, so we move closer to the end destination, right? Yes, that makes sense. Meaning I do need this, I think. So start X, start Y, and the start is from this. I think Y is the first, and this one. Okay, so we still have this, right? How it looks. So I guess we don't do anything because we use these variables in this calculation based on this array. But I guess maybe I could do something better here. It's just what I can do better. So we have a distance, we have a start and an end position, and we need to walk closer to that end position, right? No matter the direction on the board. And one way we can do that is, as I have done here, checking if the distance is higher than 1. If the distance is higher than 1, then we subtract. And that was said wrong. If the distance is less than 1, or less than 0 actually, then we add -1. So what could I do instead of having this? And then maybe I can change these as well. So distance in Y equals to the amount of pieces we have to move. Meaning so let me see. If state is true, then we return. If temp is not undefined and this is not undefined, then we set the state to true. And this just means there is an icon. That's the only thing this means. Which I suppose could be better, and I'm not sure if this can even be a temp value. I'm not sure if this can be unidentified. So maybe I should do something like this. If it's actually hitting unidentified. Okay, so here the icon is nothing. I guess that's fine, because that is so. Clear start move. So I actually need to check if I can still do that move. So let me move this here. Okay, and I do this. Okay, and we can do that, good. So that still works, then I don't have to worry about that at least. Let me see, how can I even, so let me see, this gets on, let's find this function. So this gets on 2 positions, and this can only return unidentified if the piece does not contain a piece, or if the board does not contain a piece on that square. But as far as I know, this always happens. So let me actually just remove this, and then we go with it like that. Then we check if the icon is equal to empty. So that's fine. So what do we have here? Move piece, just find board piece on array. Move piece color state equal unidentified. Color state, can the color state be unidentified? So we find a piece. Attack is running on. So how can this be unidentified? It's on the pawn, and move piece gives us a piece, or the piece that we want to move to, right? So I think, yes, this gives us the piece that we want to move to, meaning that if the color state is unidentified, it means that the piece is not a piece, and then we return false, so that should be fine. And if chess current is not equal to color piece, then we return. Maybe I should do this. So here the move is valid, and else we just return false because then something went wrong. Actually, wait a minute here. Oh, that was why. So I'm not sure. Color state, can that be unidentified? Color state can be unidentified, I'm pretty sure. Or what? But would that matter? I mean, what happens if we compare? So let x equal unidentified, let y equals true, x not equal y. Oh yes, so that's why. I see. So the reason why I did color state unidentified or undefined, not unidentified, undefined, is because undefined is like an extra boolean almost, if you check on booleans. So there is not only 2 states, in this case, right? It can also be, it can be black and white, but now it can only be black and white. I could also check more specific maybe. Or no. I'm not sure. So let me see, is ally, move 2 piece, we do the same, find the piece. And maybe I should remove the parameters. And then we do a color check. If it's an ally, yes, then we return true. So that's, I guess, is fine. And what else do we have here? We do some movement. I don't think I can get around this unless I rework the function. And I can most certainly rework this, I see. Okay, so let's see. Maybe I can do something here. Y, we use X, we use multiple places. So maybe I should just keep it like this. It's not that bad. Pawn start move, pawn normal move, queen move. Yes, this was where I could do something, I think. Because I passed the array and I think I can do math.abs here. I do a reverse on this array. I get 2 positions, so let's try to lock this out. At both places here. If I can find it. Like that. Oh, okay. Interesting. So I basically broke that. How did I break that? God damn it. Let's go back then. Still lost that. What did I do up here? Okay, so color stays equal undefined. Maybe I did something else. Okay, so let's see this again. Check array here, because right now I am doing a reverse and I don't think I need that. So let's see. So 3-7. then I should be able to remove this as well, actually. This array. And then I think I can pass the value here instead. The thing is, it's running this all the time, so it's a bit difficult to debug, because I basically only need the values for when the piece is set. I guess what I could do is that I could print it in this function instead. Again, it doesn't matter so much. It doesn't matter so much. Maybe this is stupid. But then again, this is a long name, right? This is most certainly stupid. But let me see. Or maybe not, because I bind these values here. So why do I do this? Because... wait a minute. So let me think here. I bind some values here to an array. And I change some values, so maybe I need to do this. Yes, I guess I'll keep this for now then. I'm not sure so much what I can change, other than just try to do the next thing, right? There's something here, maybe. Maybe I should use a switch here. That's maybe basically it, right? Then we say rule name. I can never remember how you do switch. I think it's like this, right? Else, okay, so else, I guess this is the default, right? Else, so default, oh shit, default, right, I'm not even sure. Switch. See, so default goes like that. It's fine. Break. And then remove this, I suppose. That's better. Here maybe I should also use switch. Or no. It's more code, right? But I think switch is faster. I don't think... But then again, this is not a constant value. And here I suppose I can do something like this instead. I don't really need to hold that variable. Let me see. Here I kinda need it because of this. But here I guess it doesn't matter so much. So can we do something? I guess that's the only thing I can really look into maybe right now is this reversing of the array and the calculations done inside of this pawn start move, which contains the array, which is fine, and we do a boolean check here, or whatever you want to call this, right? And there might be another way around this. I might be able to do math.apps here and then send it whatever value, like this. But greater than equals to 1, and this then equals to 2. What am I even doing here? And this value, let me see. I think this value is always 2 or something. 137. Oh, so the value is certainly more than 2. But if n is greater than or equal to 1 and n is greater than or equal to 2, doesn't that mean that it's 2? Or 1, right? So either it's 1 or it's 2. Oh yes, I guess this is either it's 1 or 2. So maybe this is fine to do. Else I would have to do if n is equal to 1, or maybe this is better, I'm not sure. Or n is equal to 2. This also, it would do exactly the same, right? I think. I'm not sure if there is something like security wise that's better about this one. Empty return false. Okay, that was also a valid move. Let's see. I need to remove this. It's causing FPS drops. Console. It's also this one. It's kind of annoying that it sometimes marked this, and I have to figure out a way where I can fix this problem. Yo man. I'm still working on this chess game, or today it's only looking through the code actually, to see if I could make any like easy optimizations. But I'm not sure how much I can actually do without changing a lot of the structure. So I'm not sure what to do, or if I should do something. Because I'm not sure what kind of functions would be good to have. Like the next thing to do would be to make it server side, right? Or make it multiplayer somehow. But I don't think that will be too difficult. I'm not sure. It depends on how I make it multiplayer. I mean, I got the chess game already in JavaScript, right? So maybe I was looking at this WebRTC. I think that's it, right? But I'm not sure how complicated this is. But if it works the way that I understand it, like if I can get peer-to-peer communication just by assigning them something from the server, then I think it could be very interesting or very good, because it's kind of how I would like to have it, right? So it's not, or I'm not sure, because I guess I also would like to have the data, right? If I have to train something on it. So then maybe server side would be good to do anyways. This is somewhat of a difficult decision, right? Because I'm not sure how much this would be useful if I had to, or if I wanted the user data, right? If I wanted the chess game data. And I think I do want that, right? I think I do want to save all the movements somewhere. And let's see, I cannot do this, so this is a bug actually. I should be able to move here. Or wait a minute. Yes, I should be able. No, of course not, because then the pawn can take me. So that makes sense. So how would I do that? That's the question. So, because I would need the logic. Right now the logic is only in the browser, right? And the question is if I could set up the clients to confirm that the movement is correct, so I don't have to do any confirmation on the server, but would only send the data to the server. So I would only store data and not care about the logical operations, in the sense of not caring if this piece can move here, because the browsers would have to be in sync or something before the movement could be made. Like they both would have to agree, right? If this is how I understand it, that you can do this WebRTC and get some kind of peer-to-peer connection between browsers. Connection between peers can be made without requiring any special drivers or plugins. It can often be made without any intermediary servers. So I guess I could do some rule, right? If you have two players and they both agree to play, you kind of agree to having the same rules, right? Already there, so I guess it would be very easy to check if somebody is cheating, because the board would not match up, or you know the boards would not match up. So I guess you can always check if the boards are matching or something, and maybe then you can send the data. Just make it faster. Oh, you mean the game in itself, or what? What do I need to make faster? Just make it. Oh, maybe you mean that I should make the game faster, stronger, better, faster. You stuff like that I cannot do, right? And it's also not so much about making it better, you know. I think it would be very good if, let's say I have a JavaScript file that in itself it could be implemented anywhere without, or maybe, right, it probably needs some server sides if you want multiplayer at least. But I guess there's many possibilities, because if you have the JavaScript here, I know this song. That was what I just didn't get it instantly that it was a meme. You know, my meme skills they're not that high up. I don't know what a meme is. Like, that's what my take on a meme is. Shit. no. Oh no. And I cannot even think now. I'm like, my brain is like, that's what happened. I'm fucking crazy, right? Shit, I cannot think. How do I do this? How do I do? I don't know. How do I set up a connection? I guess a good way to check this if. Can you test these things internally? Like, can I open two browsers and then check if I can have a RTC peer connection? Let me see. Real-time communication between browsers. Oh yeah, I remember that one. I'm not gonna watch that again. Then I just freak out or something. Well, it's good that I contribute to the general meme database. One day they will call me Commander. I cannot even think. I really want to see if I can set one of these up before it gets too late. But I don't think the documentation is very good on these.
Hi everyone. It's screen capture. In other words, data coming through. Decoded them. How to design it. Making sure. But every peer has to send a copy of its data to every other peer. So this has a corresponding CPU and bandwidth cost. You can also do things like recording. And so we're seeing messages. So it really, it's just with it. Find down, I can tell.
So media stream, RTC peer connection, and RTC data channel. Get user media. What else do we have? Is that the only things I have to care about? But okay, so servers. Where does the servers come from? Can I see some example? Thank you. Server is an optional config file. So where do I get this config file? What is this NAT? So I cannot just give I do not understand this. I do not. Maybe I cannot use it. Local remote connection, so we have this server thing, right? But where do we get this from? That's the question. Oh, no. What is this? So I guess the servers in this sense is the one that assigns, right? This assigns some kind of value, maybe. Or maybe I understand it wrong. But I would hope that you can have... Yeah, how would you do this? User discovery and communication signaling NAT firewall traversal. SDP session. This creates an offer an SDP session description with RTC peer connection create offer method. Okay. Create offer method of the RTC peer connection interface instantiates the creation of an SDP offer for the purpose of starting a new WebRTC connection to a remote peer. Okay, so I guess this is something of what we need. Target username. Set local description.
Please don't let me go. Please don't let me go. Never, never let me go. Please don't let me go. Please don't let me go. Please don't let me go. Never, never let me go.
Video true. So what? Okay, interesting. Okay, so there is this method. Okay, so this is actually an interesting thing. I think I want to look at this for a second. And then I want to see what kinds of video, audio. What else do we have here? I need to know these values actually. Could be interesting. So audio, video, peer identity. Interesting. This API should no longer be used. Okay. Well, what do I then use? Interface, data channel, data event. What I don't know is that how do I set up these channels Like, how does it work? Because I guess both parts of the communication need something like this, right? This is probably the bare minimum that I need. So some kind of peer connection, then some kind of data channel. So maybe this is where I have to look at this data channel, because maybe this is what holds the key. The create data channel method on the RTC peer connection interface creates a new channel over which any kind of data may be transmitted. This can be useful for back channel content such as images, file transmitters, text chat, game update package, and so forth. If the new data channel is the first one added to the connection, renegotiation is started by delivering a negation needed event. Okay, so negation needed event. What is that? Is that already here? So on message, on open message, on close, or not message, but on open, on close. So I guess this is some sort of a socket, right? I suppose. Maybe, I don't know. But what I find interesting here is that, so how do I connect answer side? So options, create peer connection, both sides. But what is inside this options? Options and RTC data channel init dictionary. Okay. So see. RTC data channel init dictionary provides the following fields, any of which may be included in the object passed as the options parameter in order to configure the data channel to suit your needs. So there's something I don't understand here, is that how do I, let's say I do this, right? Then I set up some kind of channel, is my assumption here, is that this will set up some kind of channel that an other person can communicate with. Like offer side, this offers a connection that somebody can connect with. And then here we have what I see as the side that wants to talk, right? Or, you know, talk to the point created. But what I don't understand is that how do this person know that it has to talk to this chat? Maybe it's already in it. Is that how it works? I need to inject the script somewhere, maybe. Maybe there's something in this var channel, event channel. Maybe this just connects automatically. What is this? Both sides, create data channel. Negotiated through ID. Okay, so here there's an ID, which is interesting. Whatever that is. So that's the options. I guess I could try this or something. Let me actually just do something like this, maybe. Or No, let me just actually inject it the proper way. I forgot I had like some function that can inject scripts, but I forgot. So let me see. I think I use it in here or something. So we have this. Oh, it is so bad. Oh no. Oh yeah, that's right. It's right. Just copy paste. Whatever. So let's see. This takes an SRC, which should work in this way then, and there's none of this stuff. And this should work, I think. And again, then we need to call the function, right? So we have to call, or I guess it calls itself actually. So I don't even need to await anything here. Actually, I just need to take this object and do this, and then this. So let's see, do we get anything here? No, is the script injected? It doesn't seem injected here. So script loader. So when can we expect it? February 23. That's what they told me. Yeah, exactly. They. Oh, you know them. Who are they? Why is this not working? Oh, I did it the wrong place, right? That's why. What I'm doing, I made this chess, right? Or this chess game. So one thing I'm doing right now is I want to make it multiplayer. So I'm looking into something called WebRTC, where maybe you can do peer-to-peer connections between browsers, so you would not have to play the game server side, but you could do it from peer to peer. You might need a server to establish the connection between the two parts, right? But more than that, I think it could be interesting. I still want to store some of the data though, so it's not that good. But I think maybe if I can learn this right, I can do some very interesting stuff, I think. Because this is basically, you know, you can connect two people without them having a need for a server to communicate. so I can communicate, you know, peer to peer with other people by this technology. And so I think it's very good for me to figure out how it works. Because I think it's very powerful if I learn to do it. Maybe it will end up that you can have websites that don't even need to have a server. Oh yeah, the new internet, right? That's what we do. But you know, they told me that when we have the internet we wanted, there won't be an internet. So maybe that's the new internet. Okay, so so this is not good. Apparently this script loader, I need to figure out this script loader. It's in content JS and HTML components. So we have this script loader, and what does it? It returns a promise when the script is loaded, right? So that's fine. And we set the key value pairs, but the question is then, why did it request? So let me see where this is injected, if anywhere. So we have it here. Oh yeah, of course this is not the right path, so that makes sense. View games. What's it? So let's see. Okay, so it doesn't give us the error now, at least. I guess I can do alert here and see. Okay, so we can connect to this script. It's a bit odd way I'm injecting these scripts, because somewhere you might need to wait for this script to load, so you have to return a promise. But in this case it doesn't matter when the script is loaded. I have other cases where it matters though. But let's see, maybe we can set up some connection here. Question is, what happens if I copy paste this? It give me an error because I don't have any options. So the question is about this option parameter. What does that need to contain? So what does it need to contain? Config. So what is this config? And can you even do it without any of these? You can find a list of available public stun servers at code.google.com. And then there's nothing. Yeah, quality rehire. What is this stuff? It's like Chinese. So proxy OpenVPN. So the question is this, if this is even on the server, because what I would want to know is that, can I, if I have a certain key, I have a domain and I have which channel I need to connect to, can I then establish a connection to another person? That's what I want to figure out. Without all this, contains at least on key iServers, array of URL objects containing information about stun or turn servers, but I don't know what that is. And I also think it said that these things, they were out of date. the RTC set remote description. This deprecated API should no longer be used. Well, I guess it's just because there's extra callbacks or something on it. But what I really don't get is this. What is this? Description. The RTC session description interface describes one end of a connection or potential connection and how it's configured. Each RTC session description consists of a description type indicating which part of the offer or answer negotiation process it describes and of the SDP descriptor of the session. Two processes of negotiating a connection between two peers involves exchanging RTC session description objects back and forth, with each description suggesting one combination of connection configuration options. Uses many weird words to confuse the guy trying to use the product. Is that what they teach you? Then it sells the most. Oh, that's a smart guy, right? Then they'll buy it. Why does it say it's deprecated? What else do you use then? Oh yeah, the documentation. Yeah, some of the that is. Sometimes it's written. Sometimes it's easier when they just give you the coding example, right? All this other stuff, it doesn't help. You just want the examples. You know, what does this thing mean? Instead of all this blah blah. It's like blah blah. Give me a coding example that that works. Don't do it. Because this doesn't give anything, right? You know, this is all fine. RTC peer connection, create data channel. Well, yes, but what do I do then with this? What do I do then with this? I guess. Okay, so maybe I should actually maybe I should actually try this. And then I think maybe something with, so on open. Okay, so this send, yes. So maybe if I do two of these, what happens then? What happens then here? And shouldn't I be able to find this socket somewhere, if it is a socket? So that failed because of options. Well, So options is optional. I'm not sure it's optional here, is it? It seems so. But it doesn't. So on message. This is what should receive, right? So on open is also not happening. Do not. Here sent to one user. MSD string target. Target goes to. I guess it's not, doesn't matter so much. So here is a diagram. We have a server. Okay, so the server receives this on message of a video offer. And this is forwarded to the callee. Okay. And over here we have something. So what? So I guess that's where you need the server. I guess it. Yes. Okay. So I guess the server still needs to establish the connection. No, it's your own server, right? They get it anyways. Just by sending it over the wire, right? They control the wires. Before we get new wires, I guess we're fucked. We need new layers of communication. The old ones, they are tapped all the time, right? Yeah, we need to get real smart, right? Or obscure the messages that we communicate so much that they cannot crack it or something like that. Have an encryption that they can't break. then they just murder you. Oh yeah, maybe. You think so? No, no, they don't. They don't. They're not that crazy. I think maybe they are hiring you then instead. But maybe they just say it in a nice way, you know, they say you gotta follow here, you know, or else you follow us into the car, or else. Anyways, I think I'll stop now. I don't think I get anywhere more with this today. I might look at it another day, but not right now. So you have a good one.